At the conclusion of the second match of this three-match series between India and South Africa, there were many reasons that one was talking about as to why India lost the second match in Raipur. One of them was due, the other one was perhaps if there was more runs that could have been scored in the last 10 overs, or maybe if there could have been more acceleration in the second power play. What's the Indian dressing room though thinking about it, and what has been the conversation in the last couple of days about India's loss and the fact that you could potentially be losing yet another ODI series? Remember, you've lost an ODI series last year to Sri Lanka, you've already lost one to Australia earlier this year. You do not want to be losing another series, especially in the format where India are believed to be the impregnable team out there. What are the thoughts of the Indian team? Well, Ryan Ten Doeschate, the assistant coach, turned up for the press conference, and that question was asked to him as to how that pressure is like right now when you're looking at the series being level going into the decider. And he says something very interesting, in fact ending it by saying that perhaps you are in a slight desperation mood of sorts to win the series tomorrow. He began by saying that we always want to win, but certainly after a few losses do start stacking up and performances are below what you expect them to be by our own standards, there is a slight desperation to win this series tomorrow, and that pretty much tells you what the mood in the team is. The test series loss, remember, cannot be forgotten. There are also murmurs about there being a review basis that horrible performance in the test series, and you understand why that word, the D word, was used over here by Ryan Ten Doeschate. But like I said, other things were also talked about in that dressing room, and sure enough, those were then told to us in the press conference as well. And the other due word, another D word, and that is the due word, was also mentioned in the press conference. And as far as the due factor is concerned, Ryan Ten Doeschate has a solution to which I will come in just a bit. But he talks about how is it that the Indian team has been preparing, particularly the bowlers. He says have been practicing with wet balls, and they've been setting up the store to get a premium score, figuring out how to defend, what is the best way to bowl with the wet ball, and where is it that and when there is dew on the grass. These things the Indian bowlers, the think tank, have been trying to get around the areas. How is it that they need to be coming together and getting their plans together? That is something that they're looking at. But particularly of note here should be the fact that they're bowling with wet balls. Of course, it's an age-old practice. The Indian team only trying to do better and better and hone its skills. But lastly, before I go, the due problem and the solution, as I said, that Ryan Ten Doeschate offered to us, he says perhaps starting 2 hours early could be a solution, but he says it's obviously there are many moving parts in terms of broadcasting, and perhaps it's going to be a conversation that goes in vain because there are too many moving pieces around it. But just a flying suggestion of sorts that he gives over there, 2 hours, maybe you can look at that. But he also says that once it starts coming down, perhaps it doesn't make a lot of difference. It is a conversation for another time perhaps as to what the possible solution to counter dew at this point of the year is. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have an interesting idea of how this dew problem can be countered, also do let me know your thoughts when it comes to this series prediction. I look forward to those predictions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give this one a like if you like it, and also don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.